Money, Repelling Items, written and published by Audiobooks. Your home is more than just a collection of furniture, decorations, and everyday items. It's an energetic environment that directly influences your financial well-being. While you might be focusing on working harder or making better investments to improve your financial situation, the real obstacles to your wealth could be sitting right in front of you, masquerading as innocent household objects. Lesson 1. The everyday objects in your home secretly blocking your wealth. The most common wealth-blocking items are often those we encounter daily without a second thought. Broken clocks, for instance, represent stagnant time and frozen progress in your financial journey. Each time you glance at that non-functioning timepiece, you're subconsciously reinforcing the message that your prosperity is stuck. Similarly, dead or dying plants send powerful signals of decay and diminishment to your prosperity consciousness, essentially programming your environment for financial decline rather than growth. Unused items collect dust and create energetic dead zones in your living space. That exercise equipment you haven't touched in years, the gifts you've never opened, or the clothes with tags still attached, they all represent blocked potential and wasted resources. These objects serve as constant reminders of unfulfilled intentions and squandered opportunities, creating an energetic pattern that extends to your financial life. Water features in your home can either enhance or diminish your wealth potential. Leaking faucets, clogged drains, or malfunctioning fountains symbolize money literally draining away from your life. In many cultural traditions, water represents wealth and abundance. When it's compromised or stagnant, so is your financial flow. Perhaps surprisingly, mirrors can be significant wealth blockers when poorly placed or damaged. Cracked mirrors not only bring the proverbial 7 years of bad luck, but also fragment and distort the flow of prosperous energy in your space. Mirrors facing your bed or front door can bounce away incoming opportunities, while those reflecting cluttered areas multiply the chaos's negative impact on your financial energy. Old bills, receipts, and financial paperwork scattered around your home create an atmosphere of financial disorder and stress. Even if they're tucked away in drawers or folders, their presence maintains a link to past financial struggles or concerns. This archaeological record of financial history can anchor you to old money patterns and prevent new abundance from entering your life. Electronics and technological devices, especially broken ones, emit chaotic energy that can interfere with your prosperity flow. That drawer full of old phones, defunct chargers, or outdated gadgets creates an energetic graveyard that subtly influences your ability to attract and maintain wealth. Even working electronics, when placed in wealth-corresponding areas of your home, can disrupt the natural flow of prosperous energy. Empty containers, particularly in the kitchen or storage areas, broadcast a message of lack and scarcity to your subconscious mind. Keeping empty boxes, bottles, or containers just in case reinforces a mindset of shortage rather than abundance. This seemingly harmless habit programs your environment, and subsequently your life, for continued emptiness rather than fullness. Understanding these wealth-blocking items is the first step toward creating a more prosperous home environment. Each object in your space either contributes to or detracts from your financial well-being. By becoming aware of these subtle influences, you can begin to make conscious choices about what you allow to occupy your living space. Your home should be a sanctuary that supports and enhances your financial growth, not a repository for items that secretly sabotage your wealth potential. As you look around your home with new awareness, you'll likely begin to notice these and other objects that may be interfering with your prosperity. This recognition is powerful. It allows you to take control of your environment and make changes that align with your financial goals and aspirations. Lesson 2. Why these common household items create financial stagnation. The relationship between our physical environment and our financial well-being runs deeper than most people realize. Common household items create financial stagnation through various mechanisms, both energetic and psychological, that impact our ability to attract and maintain wealth. When objects in our home remain unmoved, unused, or unloved for extended periods, they create pockets of stagnant energy. This energy becomes thick and heavy, much like a pond without flowing water becomes murky and stale. These areas of stagnation act as barriers to the natural flow of abundance that could otherwise enter our lives. For instance, that pile of unread magazines gathering dust in the corner isn't just taking up physical space. It's creating an energetic blockage that affects the entire room's financial frequency. The connection between clutter and wealth is particularly significant. When we surround ourselves with broken items, we subconsciously broadcast a message that we accept dysfunction in our lives. A drawer full of non-working pens, a closet stuffed with clothes that don't fit, or kitchen appliances that haven't worked for years all contribute to a poverty mindset. These items essentially tell our subconscious mind that we don't deserve better, or that we must hold on to things out of fear of lack. Real-world examples illustrate this principle clearly. Sarah, a small business owner, struggled for years to increase her income despite working increasingly longer hours. During a home assessment, she discovered that her office contained 3 broken chairs she'd been meaning to fix. These chairs represented stalled projects and incomplete goals, creating an environment of unfinished business that directly affected her ability to close deals and attract new clients. Within 2 months of removing these chairs, her business revenue increased by 30s. Similarly, electronic devices that we keep plugged in but rarely use create what energy workers call phantom drains. These items consume small amounts of electricity continuously, but more importantly, they represent wasted resources and ignored potential. This pattern often mirrors itself in our financial lives, where money leaks out through unused subscriptions or forgotten automatic payments. The location of items also plays a crucial role in financial stagnation. Keeping old financial documents, particularly those associated with debt or financial hardship, in prominent places can anchor those negative financial experiences in our present reality. These papers carry the energetic imprint of past struggles, continuously broadcasting that frequency into our living space. Our emotional attachment to items can create powerful financial blocks. Many people keep gifts they don't like or use out of guilt or obligation. These items create a subtle form of energetic debt, as we feel we owe something to the giver. This emotional debt often manifests as actual financial debt or difficulty in receiving money freely. The accumulation of items in specific areas of the home can be particularly problematic. For example, the southeast corner of a home is traditionally associated with wealth in many cultures. When this area becomes cluttered with broken, unused, or negative energy items, it can significantly impact financial flow. One client discovered that her southeast corner had become a storage area for old tax documents and bills, creating a perfect storm of financial stagnation. Understanding these mechanisms helps us make more conscious choices about what we keep in our homes. Each item we own either contributes to or detracts from our financial wellness. When we recognize how common household items create financial stagnation, we can begin to make intentional changes that support rather than hinder our prosperity. The key lies not just in removing these items, but in understanding why they affect us so profoundly and making conscious choices about what we allow to occupy our space. Lesson 3. The ancient wisdom about objects that drain prosperity energy. Throughout history, cultures across the world have recognized the profound connection between physical objects and the flow of prosperity. Ancient civilizations developed sophisticated systems of understanding how certain items could either attract or repel wealth, with many of these teachings remaining relevant today. In traditional feng shui, the ancient Chinese art of placement, practitioners identified specific objects that were believed to obstruct the flow of prosperity qi, energy. Broken items, particularly those related to wealth generation or storage, were considered especially harmful. A cracked piggy bank, torn wallet, or malfunctioning cash register was thought to literally leak wealth energy from a space. These teachings emphasized the importance of maintaining and repairing items associated with money or replacing them entirely, if beyond repair. The Vedic traditions of India spoke extensively about certain objects that could create negative energy fields, known as doshas. Items associated with debt, poverty, or financial struggle were believed to carry forward their negative energies into present circumstances. Old bills, bankruptcy paperwork, or objects acquired during times of financial hardship were thought to perpetuate cycles of lack. Ancient Indian households regularly performed cleansing rituals to neutralize these energy imprints and restore positive financial flow. Japanese culture embraced the concept of kotodama, the belief that objects possess a spirit or energy that influences their surroundings. The accumulation of unnecessary items was seen as disrespecting their spirit and creating energetic confusion that could impede wealth. This philosophy gave rise to regular clearing practices and mindful acquisition of possessions, ensuring that each object served a clear purpose in supporting prosperity. Native American traditions held strong beliefs about objects that could interfere with abundance. Items taken from sacred sites or acquired through dishonest means were believed to carry a curse that would affect the owner's ability to prosper. They emphasized the importance of ethical acquisition and respectful treatment of possessions to maintain positive energy flow. African spiritual traditions identified specific materials and objects that could block blessings and financial opportunities. Certain metals, when placed in particular areas of the home, were thought to create barriers to wealth. These teachings included detailed instructions about object placement and the energetic properties of different materials. Medieval European folklore contained numerous references to items that could bring financial misfortune. Broken mirrors were not just considered bad luck, but specifically believed to fracture one's financial prospects. The placement of shoes, particularly on tables, was thought to invite poverty, while certain arrangements of household items were believed to either welcome or repel prosperity. These ancient wisdom traditions shared common threads despite their diverse origins. They all recognize that objects are not merely physical items, but carry energetic imprints that influence their environment. The state of our possessions, their history, and their placement were understood to create either harmonious flow or stagnation in various aspects of life, including financial prosperity. Modern practitioners of these ancient traditions have observed that many of these teachings align with contemporary understanding of energy fields and their effects on human consciousness. The ancient wisdom about prosperity. Draining objects often corresponds with current psychological insights about how our environment affects our mindset and, consequently, our actions and outcomes. Understanding these age-old perspectives provides valuable insights into how we might better arrange our modern living spaces to support rather than hinder financial abundance. While we may not fully embrace all aspects of these traditional beliefs, their enduring presence across cultures and throughout time suggests there may be fundamental truths about the relationship between our possessions and our prosperity that deserve consideration in our contemporary lives. Lesson 4. I removed these items from my home and money started flowing. When I first learned about the connection between household items and financial energy, I was skeptical. However, my own journey of transformation began when I decided to experiment with removing specific objects from my living space. The results were nothing short of remarkable, and I'm not alone in experiencing this shift. My story began in my cluttered home office, where I had unconsciously collected numerous dried and wilted plants. These weren't just aesthetically displeasing, they were symbols of stagnant energy and decay. After learning about their negative impact on prosperity, I removed them all and replaced them with vibrant, healthy plants. Within weeks, I received an unexpected freelance project that doubled my monthly income. The next significant change came from my bedroom, where I had been holding on to broken electronics, an old laptop, 2 cracked smartphones, and a malfunctioning tablet. These items represented blocked energy and dysfunction. Once I properly recycled these items, I noticed an immediate shift in my financial opportunities. A long-standing invoice that had been delayed for months was suddenly paid, and a new business partnership emerged. Sarah Thompson, a small business owner from Colorado, shares a similar experience. After removing all the unused, expired cleaning supplies from under her kitchen sink, she reported a 30% increase in business revenue within 2 months. It was as if clearing out that stagnant energy created space for money to flow, she explains. Another powerful testimony comes from Marcus Chen, a real estate agent who struggled to close deals despite his expertise. Upon inspection of his home, he discovered he had been collecting empty picture frames and cracked mirrors in his wealth corner. Once he cleared these items, his commission rates soared, and he achieved his highest grossing quarter ever. The bathroom proved to be an unexpected source of financial blockage in my home. I had multiple leaking faucets and a collection of empty toiletry containers. These represented constant energy and money drains. After fixing the leaks and clearing out empty containers, I received 3 new client opportunities within a week. Perhaps the most dramatic transformation occurred in my kitchen. I had been holding on to chipped dishes and cups, believing they were still serviceable. These damaged items were subtle symbols of accepting less than I deserved. After replacing them with new whole pieces, I successfully negotiated a significant raise at work that I had been hesitant to pursue. Emily Rodriguez, a yoga instructor, found that removing old calendars and outdated planners from her home office created an immediate shift. These items were literally keeping me stuck in the past, she says. Within days of removing them, I attracted 5 new, high-paying clients. The process of removing money, repelling items isn't always easy. Many of us form emotional attachments to our possessions, even the ones that harm our prosperity. However, the evidence is clear. When we consciously clear these objects from our space, we create room for abundance to enter. Local business consultant James Miller removed all the broken tools from his garage and reported an immediate shift in his consulting practice. It was as if fixing that one area of dysfunction in my home fixed something in my business too, he notes. His client base grew by 40 in the following quarter. These experiences demonstrate that the relationship between our physical space and financial prosperity is real and actionable. The key is to identify these money, repelling items and take decisive action to remove them. While each person's experience is unique, the pattern is consistent. Clearing these objects creates space for new financial opportunities to manifest. Lesson 5. The surprising things in your house creating money resistance. Most people are aware that clutter and broken items can block financial flow, but there are numerous surprising objects in our homes that create money resistance without our knowledge. These unexpected wealth blockers often masquerade as innocent decorations or practical items we use daily. One of the most surprising money-repelling items is dried flowers. While beautiful and sentimental, dried flowers represent dead energy and can create stagnation in your financial life. This includes dried flower arrangements, pressed flowers in frames, and even potpourri. The energy of decay and preservation of something that's no longer living can symbolically halt the flow of new abundance into your life. Empty vessels and containers, particularly those displayed in prominent locations, create a vacuum effect that can drain wealth energy. This includes decorative bowls, vases without flowers, and empty storage containers. While these items might seem aesthetically pleasing, they represent void spaces that energetically attract emptiness rather than abundance. Another unexpected wealth blocker is artwork or photographs depicting poverty, struggle, or scarcity. While these pieces might be artistically valuable or historically significant, they continuously broadcast images of lack into your living space. This includes vintage photographs of hard times, paintings of abandoned buildings, or art that portrays isolation and desolation. Many people are surprised to learn that water features pointing toward the door or entrance of a room can symbolically wash away wealth. While water fountains are generally considered positive for wealth attraction, their placement and direction are crucial. A fountain that flows toward an exit represents money flowing out of your life. Old calendars and outdated time-keeping devices can create temporal stagnation that affects financial flow. This includes decorative vintage clocks that don't work, old wall calendars kept for their images, and broken watches stored in drawers. These items symbolically keep you stuck in the past rather than moving forward toward prosperity. Mirrors facing beds or dining tables can reflect and scatter wealth energy. While mirrors are powerful tools for expanding space and light, their incorrect placement can disrupt the flow of abundance. A mirror facing your bed can also affect your sleep quality, which in turn impacts your ability to make sound financial decisions. Sharp-cornered furniture pointing directly at frequently used areas creates what Feng Shui experts call poison arrows. These harsh angles can cut through positive energy flows and create resistance to wealth. This is particularly problematic when sharp corners point toward doors, beds, or workspaces where important financial decisions are made. Items stored under your bed can create subconscious blocks to prosperity. Many people use this space for storage, but items stored here can affect your sleep and create energetic interference with your wealth potential. This is especially true for shoes, financial paperwork, or items associated with past financial struggles. Damaged or chipped items, particularly those used for eating or drinking, send signals of accepting less than the best in your life. While it might seem frugal to keep using these items, they can create a subtle message of settling for less and accepting scarcity. Plants with thorns or spiky leaves, especially near entrances or in areas where you handle money, can repel wealth energy. While these plants might be attractive or easy to maintain, their sharp energy can create barriers to incoming abundance. This includes cacti, some succulents, and thorny plants like roses placed in prosperity areas. By identifying and removing these surprising money, repelling items from your home, you can create a space that welcomes rather than resists financial abundance. Each item removed opens up new pathways for wealth to enter your life, and replacing them with objects that attract prosperity can significantly shift your financial energy. Lesson 6. Hidden Energy Vampires. Items that silently repel abundance. Every home harbors objects that quietly drain away prosperity and abundance, much like invisible energy vampires feeding on our financial potential. These items operate in subtle ways, creating an energetic barrier that prevents wealth from flowing freely into our lives. Understanding and identifying these hidden energy vampires is crucial for maintaining a prosperous environment. One of the most potent energy vampires lurking in our homes is broken or malfunctioning electronics. That cracked phone screen you've been meaning to fix, the printer that jams constantly, or the television with dead pixels. These items emit a frequency of dysfunction that extends beyond their physical problems. They broadcast a message of acceptance of broken things, indirectly telling the universe that you're willing to live with less than optimal conditions. Dead plants are another significant energy vampire that many people overlook. While living plants can attract prosperity and positive energy, their deceased counterparts do the opposite. They represent decay and stagnation, creating pockets of negative energy that repel abundance. This effect is particularly strong when dead plants are kept in wealth corners or near entrances where money energy should flow freely. Unfinished projects constitute a major category of energy vampires. That half-completed craft project, the partially painted wall, or the drawer of items waiting to be repaired, all create an energy of incompletion. These unfinished tasks weigh on our subconscious, creating mental clutter that blocks new opportunities and financial growth. Each incomplete project represents a promise to yourself that remains unfulfilled, establishing a pattern of unrealized potential. Old calendars and outdated scheduling items might seem harmless, but they're actually powerful energy vampires. They keep you energetically tied to the past, making it difficult for new opportunities to manifest. These items create a subtle resistance to forward movement and progress, especially in financial matters. The same applies to old magazines, newspapers, and expired coupons. They anchor your energy in times gone by. Empty containers, particularly in the kitchen and bathroom, send a powerful message of lack to the universe. These hollow vessels represent void and emptiness, creating an energetic vacuum that can affect your financial abundance. While you might plan to reuse them, keeping empty containers around promotes an energy of depletion rather than abundance. Inherited items that carry negative emotional weight are particularly insidious energy vampires. That vase from a difficult relative or jewelry from a complicated relationship might hold sentimental value, but they can also transfer challenging energies into your space. These objects often carry the emotional and financial patterns of their previous owners, potentially perpetuating cycles of scarcity or financial struggle. Mirrors placed in positions that reflect cluttered areas or create jarring angles multiply the negative effect of energy vampires. They amplify and bounce around stagnant energy, creating a maze of blocked prosperity flows. Pay particular attention to mirrors that reflect your workspace or bill-paying area, as these can significantly impact your financial energy. The presence of poverty consciousness items, objects that remind you of times of lack or struggle, can be powerful energy vampires. These might include items from periods of financial hardship, debt-related paperwork kept long after the debts are paid, or objects that remind you of financial mistakes. While it's important to learn from past experiences, holding on to these physical reminders can keep you energetically tied to those challenging times. Understanding these hidden energy vampires is just the first step. The key is to recognize them in your own space and take action to remove or transform them. Each item removed creates space for abundance to flow, like opening windows in a stuffy room. The energy in your home should support and enhance your financial goals, not silently work against them. By identifying and eliminating these energy vampires, you create an environment that attracts and maintains prosperity rather than repelling it. Lesson 7. The scientific explanation behind how objects affect financial flow. While many dismiss the connection between objects and financial flow as mere superstition, modern science offers fascinating insights into how our physical environment impacts our behavior, decision-making, and ultimately our financial success. Research in environmental psychology has demonstrated that our surroundings significantly influence our cognitive processes, emotional states, and actions. Studies conducted at Princeton University's Neuroscience Institute revealed that physical clutter in our environment competes for our attention, resulting in decreased performance and increased stress. When our brain is confronted with excessive stimuli from disorganized surroundings, its ability to focus and process information efficiently becomes compromised. This cognitive overload directly affects our financial decision-making capabilities and our ability to pursue wealth-building opportunities. The concept of embodied cognition, a field of cognitive science, suggests that our thoughts and behaviors are deeply rooted in the body's interaction with its environment. Research has shown that the physical objects surrounding us can trigger specific neural pathways, influencing our mindset and behavioral patterns. For instance, holding onto broken items or keeping dead plants around can subconsciously reinforce patterns of lack and decay in our financial thinking. Environmental scientists have also documented the effects of electromagnetic fields, EMFs, emitted by electronic devices on human behavior and well-being. The accumulation of too many electronic devices, especially in rest areas like bedrooms, can disrupt our natural biorhythms and energy patterns. This disruption can lead to decreased productivity, impaired judgment, and subsequently poor financial choices. Color psychology, backed by numerous scientific studies, demonstrates how different colors in our environment affect our mood and behavior. Certain colors have been shown to either stimulate or suppress financial consciousness. For example, research has found that excessive exposure to gray or dark colors can lead to feelings of scarcity and limitation, while balanced use of colors like green and gold can promote abundance-oriented thinking. The scientific principle of neuroplasticity explains how our brain creates new neural pathways based on our everyday experiences and environment. When we surround ourselves with objects that remind us of past financial failures or struggles, we strengthen neural connections associated with scarcity mindsets. Conversely, maintaining an environment that signals success and abundance helps create positive neural pathways supporting financial growth. Researchers in the field of psychoneuroimmunology have demonstrated the relationship between environmental stress and physiological responses. Cluttered spaces and dysfunctional items increase cortisol levels, the stress hormone, which can lead to impaired decision-making and risk assessment abilities, crucial skills for financial success. Studies in behavioral economics have shown that our immediate environment shapes our spending and saving habits. The presence of certain objects can trigger what economists call scarcity thinking, where people make poorer financial decisions due to a perceived lack of resources. This phenomenon has been observed in environments filled with broken, incomplete, or non-functional items. Air quality research has revealed that stagnant air and poor ventilation, often caused by excessive objects blocking airflow, can reduce cognitive function by up to 50. This reduction in mental clarity directly impacts our ability to make sound financial decisions and recognize opportunities for wealth creation. Quantum physics principles suggest that everything, including inanimate objects, possesses energy and vibrates at specific frequencies. While this might sound esoteric, scientific instruments can measure these vibrations. Objects in states of decay or dysfunction emit lower frequencies, which can create discordant energy patterns in our living spaces, potentially affecting our financial vibration and attraction of resources. Understanding these scientific principles helps us approach the relationship between objects and financial flow from a rational, evidence-based perspective. By acknowledging the measurable impact our physical environment has on our psychological, physiological, and behavioral patterns, we can make informed decisions about the objects we choose to keep in our spaces. Lesson 8. Why your favorite possessions might be your biggest money blocks. Our most cherished possessions often hold the strongest emotional attachments, and while these items may bring us comfort and joy, they can simultaneously act as powerful money blocks in our lives. The sentimental value we place on certain objects can create energetic attachments that prevent us from moving forward financially and emotionally. Consider that old chair from your grandmother's house that doesn't match your decor, but holds precious memories, or the collection of stuffed animals from your childhood that takes up valuable space in your closet. These items, while meaningful, can anchor us to past experiences and emotions that no longer serve our present financial goals. The psychology behind this phenomenon is fascinating. When we hold on to objects from our past, especially those connected to times of financial struggle or emotional difficulty, we subconsciously maintain the energy patterns associated with those periods. For instance, keeping clothes from a previous job where you felt undervalued can perpetuate those same feelings in your current career, limiting your earning potential. Sentimental items often carry complex emotional signatures. That box of mementos from a previous relationship might represent love and happiness, but it could also harbor feelings of loss, scarcity, or unworthiness. These mixed energies can create confusion in your financial frequency, making it harder to attract abundance. Our favorite possessions can also represent outdated versions of ourselves. The guitar you bought during your dream of becoming a musician but never learned to play, or the expensive exercise equipment gathering dust. These items remind us of unfulfilled goals and can generate feelings of failure or inadequacy. Such emotions create energetic barriers to financial success. The challenge lies in distinguishing between truly meaningful items that inspire and uplift us versus those that hold us back under the guise of sentimentality. A family heirloom that makes you feel connected to your roots and proud of your heritage can actually enhance your prosperity energy. However, keeping every card, letter, and trinket from your past can create energetic congestion that blocks new financial opportunities. Breaking free from these emotional attachments requires awareness and gentle self-examination. Ask yourself whether each sentimental item truly serves your present and future self. Does looking at your old college textbooks fill you with inspiration? Or do they remind you of student debt? Does that collection of unfinished craft projects spark creativity? Or does it generate feelings of guilt and overwhelm? Sometimes our favorite possessions reflect limiting beliefs about money and success. The worn-out wallet you've had since college might feel comfortable, but it could be reinforcing a scarcity mindset. The mismatched dishes you've kept just in case might be telling your subconscious that you don't deserve nice things. The process of releasing these items doesn't mean erasing memories or dishonoring the past. Instead, it's about creating space for new abundance while honoring the lessons and love these objects represented. Consider taking photos of sentimental items before letting them go, or keeping one representative piece instead of an entire collection. Our homes should be sanctuaries that support our current goals and aspirations. When we surround ourselves with objects that reflect who we are becoming rather than who we were, we align our energy with future abundance. This might mean replacing that threadbare lucky sweater with a new one that makes you feel confident and successful, or transforming your childhood bedroom into a modern home office that attracts professional opportunities. The key is to recognize that our favorite possessions, while comfortable and familiar, might be the very things holding us back from financial growth. By mindfully examining our emotional attachments and being willing to release items that no longer serve our highest good, we create energetic space for new wealth and opportunities to flow into our lives. Lesson 9. The home clearing method that removes financial blockages. The process of clearing your home of money, repelling items, requires a systematic and intentional approach. This proven method has helped countless people transform their living spaces into powerful wealth-attracting environments. The key lies in combining physical decluttering with energetic cleansing while maintaining a clear intention throughout the process. Begin by selecting a time when you can work without interruption, preferably during daylight hours where natural energy is at its peak. Open all windows to allow fresh air to circulate and create a flow of new energy. Light a white candle or sage smudge stick to purify the space as you work through each area. Start at your front door and move clockwise through your home. This direction aligns with natural energy flows and helps maintain organization during the clearing process. As you encounter each item, hold it briefly and ask yourself 3 essential questions. Does this item serve my highest good? Does it contribute to my financial abundance? Does it carry positive energy? If the answer to any of these questions is no, the item needs to be removed. When clearing money, repelling items, it's crucial to handle them with respect, but remain firm in your decision to let them go. Create 3 distinct piles: items to donate, items to discard, and items to discard. Avoid keeping maybe piles, as this perpetuates indecision and stagnant energy. Items that are broken, damaged, or carrying negative associations should be discarded immediately rather than passed on to others. The energetic component of clearing is equally important as the physical removal of items. After removing unwanted objects, cleanse the space they occupied using salt water or sound techniques such as bells or singing bowls. Pay special attention to corners and hidden spaces where energy tends to become trapped. Place small bowls of sea salt in these areas overnight to absorb any residual negative energy. Maintain the cleared energy by implementing a regular maintenance routine. Every morning, spend 5 minutes tidying your space and setting intentions for financial abundance. Weekly energy clearings using sound, smoke, or crystals help prevent the accumulation of stagnant energy. Monthly reassessments of your space ensure that new money, repelling items haven't inadvertently made their way into your home. Consider creating abundance altars or designated spaces that specifically attract wealth energy. These areas might include symbols of prosperity, such as citrine crystals, golden objects, or living plants. Position these items in the wealth corner of your home or office, typically the far left corner from the entrance. The clearing process extends beyond physical objects to include digital spaces as well. Clear out old emails, organize digital files, and remove apps or programs that no longer serve you. Electronic clutter can be just as detrimental to financial flow as physical items, so maintain clean and organized digital environments. Document your clearing process through photographs or journaling to track your progress and notice the shifts in energy. Many people report feeling lighter, more focused, and more optimistic about their financial prospects after completing a thorough clearing. The space created through this process allows new opportunities and resources to flow into your life. Clearing is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing practice of maintaining positive energy flow in your space. As you become more attuned to the energy of objects, you'll naturally become more selective about what you allow into your home. This heightened awareness helps prevent the accumulation of new money, repelling items, and maintains the powerful wealth attracting energy you've created through the clearing process. Lesson 10. Which room contains your biggest money repelling item? Every room in your home plays a unique role in your financial well-being, and identifying which space harbors the most significant money repelling items is crucial for creating positive wealth energy. The bedroom, often considered a sanctuary, can actually be a major source of financial blockages. Many people store old items under their beds, creating stagnant energy that affects both sleep quality and prosperity. The space beneath your bed should remain clear and clean to allow energy to flow freely while you rest and regenerate. The kitchen, representing abundance and nourishment, frequently contains overlooked money, repelling items, broken appliances, chipped dishes, or expired food items signal to the universe that you're comfortable with waste and dysfunction. The sink area is particularly significant. Leaky faucets symbolize money literally draining away from your life. A cluttered refrigerator with old magnets and outdated papers suggests a resistance to fresh opportunities and new financial possibilities. Your home office or workspace often contains the most potent money repelling items. Unpaid bills left visible, chaotic paperwork, or broken office equipment create an environment that actively works against financial success. The desk position itself can block wealth energy, especially if your back faces the door or if you're directly in line with it. Additionally, dead plants, empty picture frames, or abstract art depicting poverty or struggle can subconsciously program your mind for financial hardship. The living room, being the heart of the home, might contain inherited furniture or decorative items that carry previous generations' financial struggles. Heavy, dark curtains blocking natural light can prevent new opportunities from entering your life. Mirrors placed incorrectly might reflect and amplify negative energy, while worn-out or sagging furniture suggests an acceptance of diminished circumstances. Bathrooms often harbor items that literally wash away prosperity. Products past their prime, broken tiles, or mirrors with spots and cracks all contribute to declining wealth energy. The bathroom's water element should promote flow and abundance, but when combined with clutter or dysfunction, it instead creates a drain on financial resources. The entryway or foyer deserves special attention, as it's where energy first enters your home. Shoes in disarray, unopened mail, or dead plants here can prevent prosperity from even crossing your threshold. A cluttered coat rack with old, unworn items suggests an unwillingness to welcome new abundance into your life. Storage areas like basements, attics, and closets often contain the highest concentration of money, repelling items. These spaces typically become dumping grounds for things we can't decide about, creating massive energy blocks that affect the entire home. Old clothes that no longer fit, broken items waiting to be fixed, and boxes of unresolved paperwork all contribute to financial stagnation. The dining room, traditionally associated with abundance and sharing prosperity, can harbor subtle wealth blockers. Empty fruit bowls, unused china collecting dust, or chairs that nobody sits in suggest an expectation of scarcity rather than abundance. Dark corners without adequate lighting can create pockets where wealth energy becomes trapped and stagnant. Analyzing each room requires honest assessment and willingness to make changes. Start with the space where you spend the most time or feel the most financial resistance. Pay attention to how you feel in different areas of your home. Your intuition often guides you to the most problematic spaces. The biggest money-repelling items aren't always physical objects. Sometimes it's the energy, arrangement, or symbolic meaning of a space that creates the strongest financial blockages. Take action room by room, addressing the most significant issues first. As you clear these spaces of money, repelling items, you'll likely notice immediate shifts in your financial energy. The key is maintaining this awareness and regularly assessing each room to prevent new wealth-blocking items from accumulating.